So I think going all in this year on my socials and my personal brand is going to be beneficial in the long run, and I'm excited for this new journey, what the next 10 years is going to look like. Hello friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're an OG. I am absolutely thrilled to be back here on YouTube after what feels like a century, not to be dramatic, but today is April 1st, 2026. I am attempting to just film. I hope this could be a one take type of moment so that I can film, edit, and upload today. So hopefully all things work out, but this video isn't gonna be anything crazy. I just wanted to really break the ice. As you guys can see by the title, it has been 10 years since I started this channel. And before I just start creating and sharing new content in this new format and essentially rebrand, I'm even thinking about changing the name of this channel. I wanted to just stop in and just say hello. If you guys were with me throughout the journey, you guys know throughout my college experience, I was, of course, a student. I was a biomedicine student. I played college basketball. I shared my first businesses that I started. I was an entrepreneur. I was an investor. I was a speaker. I was traveling the country speaking while in school. I then went on to, hire my first employees in my blogs, get my first office on my blogs, buy my first car, buy my first house, make my first, 7 figures, make my first $1 million. So I had a lot of firsts that were documented on my channel. And I'm going to try and figure out how I can interweave that into this new era of content. But for the most part, why am I back? Back in 2024, I actually mentioned this on my Substack, but I read a book called Build the Life You Want by Arthur C. Brooks and Oprah Winfrey, and such an amazing book. I can't wait to share more of my book picks on this channel, but that book really opened my eyes to what I was leaving on the table, I would say, in regards to specific areas of my life. Essentially was formatted like a formula around creating a life that you love. It talked about the importance of faith, the importance of friendships, like actual close, intimate friendships. Of course, your relationship with your spouse and what you should be looking for, but also the value of meaningful work. And I say meaningful specifically because over time, it's went from business ownership to me being more behind the scenes and having more of a director advisor role and investing and working with the founders that I invest in. But I still think that my most meaningful work, the work that I'm the most proud of, still till this day is my YouTube channel and the content that I created when I was, 18, 19, 20 years old. There was so much that I did in my early 20s that had very tangible impact in people's lives, especially now as, the markets are going crazy and the world honestly is, I don't want to say the world is ending. I don't want to be dramatic. And it might be ending, but that's a story for another day. But to know that so many of you guys are still using the lessons that were learned so many years ago, and you guys are able to give me feedback that, you got into a US oil investment, or you've been investing in gold, or when Bitcoin was Bitcoin, you guys were able to make money off of the crypto markets, or so many of you guys are now doctors, which is so funny. I didn't go that route, unfortunately, but a lot of my early content was around my journey as a pre-med student and my how to get a 4.0 videos and my study with me's. So being able to see how much you guys have really impacted your own lives through your own self-development and things of that sort, that has been the work that I'm so proud of. For those that aren't aware, I actually did take down all of my old videos, and I'll talk a little bit more about why as time goes on. But primarily, I'm in a completely different stage of life right now. I have to be a little bit more cognizant of what I do share and post online. 10 years ago, I was a college freshman and I was doing college blogs. A lot of my content was very valuable, but it was like intertwined into my day in the lives, or at that time it was like week in the life vlogs. I of course had some informative educational videos alongside that. I had the Money Monday series. You guys were able to really just see my growth over time. One of the things that I actually did to prepare for this, new era of my channel was I wanted to review my old videos. So I actually spent a couple of weeks rewatching all of my videos from 2016 to about 2021 when I stopped YouTube, and it was about 400 videos that I uploaded. I was very consistent back in the day, and we're trying to get back there. We're starting off with like maybe 2 or 3 videos a month to start, but what I loved about reviewing my content was that there was a very clear through line. I had a lot of the same values, a lot of the same principles that I live by today were the same principles I lived by back then. A lot of the decisions that I made super early on directly correlated to the life that I live right now. What I am trying to do is extract all of the lessons, and of course across those first 5 years, but also the time that I've been offline. As many of you guys know, I have went super deep into like the angel investing, venture capital world. I have spent a lot of time researching and just learning a lot more about macroeconomics, microeconomics, investments. I'm 28 years old now. I am trying to build a very solid, very solid foundation for this next season of my life as I'm going into my 30s. There's just so much that I'm learning just about womanhood, about wealth building, about wellness, about just like overall wisdom. I talked about a lot of this stuff on my Substack. And then eventually I was like, I might as well just come back to YouTube. Like, why would I be talking about these things on Substack when I already have a whole YouTube platform? But now basically what I'm doing is kind of like combining both, because I think that there's still a lot of value and there's a lot of stuff that I want to write about that would make sense for writing on like a Medium or a Substack that wouldn't make sense for YouTube, and then vice versa. But this new chapter is going to be a little bit more tailored towards education and more teaching. But at least for these first 2 videos, we're going to reacclimate ourselves. And I would love if you guys let me know down below as well how you guys have been, what stage of life you're in. I know a lot of you guys probably are, similar age to me. So around like 28, 27 to early 30s. So the type of content is going to be very different than, of course, school productivity videos or, like those early investments and financial literacy of how to budget and stuff like that. We are going to be taking things up a notch. We're going to be a little bit more advanced. As a lot of you guys know, I do a lot of speaking, and I think a lot of the content that I use for my talks would be great for this channel as well. I still speak and do like guest lectures at universities. So it's going to be interesting. I think that this new stage, this new era of content will be a lot of fun, but I hope that'll be very valuable to you guys as well. I've met so many subscribers. I've taken so many of my subscribers out to dinner. I've met you guys all around the world at this point. Some of my subscribers have become friends. I've done Zoom calls with you guys. I've hired some of you guys for some of my businesses. I have ran internship programs, but there's so many people that I'm thinking off the top of my head that I know is gonna watch this video that I'm just excited for, like it's almost like I'm talking to old friends. So coming back to it and realizing that I can hold space for both. I can be visible strategically and intentionally while still keeping certain things to myself. I can use my YouTube channel to be an extension of the work that I actually do, as opposed to me being Lavish Ruby on YouTube, which there's nothing wrong with, but I actually do think I'm going to change the name of this channel to kind of fit more of the work that I do with, my VC work and my angel investment stuff and my United Nations work. Lavish Ruby doesn't really fit my work life anymore, unfortunately. And to be fair, I did come up with the name Lavish Ruby when I was 15 years old. So yeah, long story short, I'm excited for this new chapter. There's so much that I want to talk about and share and teach, and actually being able to use this platform as essentially my own educational platform. This is also a season for me to also develop different skills, because I do think, and I say this all the time, that social media is going to be the asset class of our generation. I think that the way that we look at our parents and it's like, you should have invested into real estate or Bitcoin back in 2010, I feel like our kids will be like, how come you didn't invest into your own personal brand when it was so easy back then? So I think going all in this year on my socials and my personal brand, is going to be beneficial in the long run, and I'm excited for this new journey, what the next 10 years is going to look like. I can't wait to be 38 looking back at the content that I created in my late 20s. Like I said, didn't want to make this video too long, and it's already looking a little too long, so I'm going to cut it here. All in all, I wanted to thank you guys for coming along with me through my many firsts, through the beginning of this journey, to all of the OGs and the LLA members and the academic planner holders and the, I don't even know. There's so many different little categories within my content community. That's what it is. Like, this is my online community. I'm so grateful for you guys, and I am so excited for this next chapter. I will see you guys in my next video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Substack, because there's going to be companion Substacks to each video that will kind of go a little bit more further in depth. Again, bear with me as I am going through the motions of these beginning stages. I am truly looking forward to what this next chapter holds. I'll see you guys next time. I have been dormant on this channel for so long. Please engage. If you like the video, leave a like. If you would like to comment, please comment. I don't know if I'm going to be shadow banned or not. I probably shouldn't have taken this long of a break.